Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of How's That the Cricket Podcast. Very exciting, Lily. We have interviewed another guest, which was very awesome to do.
It was.
Do you want to tell us who it was?
Yeah, so we talked to Jemma Barsby, who is the current South Australian Scorpions captain.
And they have just made the final as we record this. New South Wales unfortunately went down to Queensland, and that means South Australia are in the final, which is amazing. Very exciting.
The luck just went their way, didn't it? It was they did well to win that game beforehand against Victoria, but then needing New South Wales, who was such a strong team, needing them to lose, and for them to lose by such a big margin as well just seemed like luck.
Yeah, so they needed New South Wales to lose. If they won, they would have made the final. But yeah, no, as you said, we beat Victoria, and it's always good to beat Victoria as South Australians. So no, it's fantastic. Very proud of them, and very exciting. We're in the final. Very tough opponent they have in the Tasmanian Tigers. They're a very strong team this season, and they've had many contributions from their players. So yeah, it'll be a fantastic game.
It will be.
Yeah, because I think they have Rachel Priest.
They do.
Yeah. Opening, yes. Maisie Gibson, Sarah Coit, Naomi Stellenberg,
Elise Villani.
Oh, geez, it's going to be a tough game, but no doubt our girls can get up. I'm very sure.
It should be a really good game because they've come out on top. So I do want to take a little trip over to Hobart, but unfortunately it's not come at the right time. So
yes, unfortunately
can't go down.
Yeah, that would be great to be there to support them, but I'll be watching for sure. It's Sunday. Sunday, make sure you watch it.
Yeah. And on the other note, there has been more World Cup games. So the West Indies versus Pakistan game, it turned into a 2020 because of the rain.
Yes.
But West Indies, they were fielding a bit like an under-12s team.
Yeah, it was a tough game for it. But did you see the oval before with all the rain? It looked like a swimming pool.
No, I didn't see it. I was at school, so I wasn't able to watch. I just came home and watched the second innings.
Honestly, it was insane. I thought we'd had to decide the cricket game by laps in the pool. It was that underwater, and it was just, wow. Full credit to the ground staff to get that prepared and ready. But yeah, good they got a game on.
Yeah, it's good that they managed to get that back together, wasn't it? And Nida Dar was player of the match with 4 overs and took 4 wickets, which was amazing. Really good to see. But yeah, there was also the South Africa and Australia game today, which was not too unexpected, but I was thinking that South Africa might have done a little bit better than they did, seeing as they were only 5 down at the 50 over mark. You probably think that they might have just tried to go as hard as they can towards the end of the overs there.
Tee off a bit.
It is a score that Australia can beat. So
yeah, I would have said to them, go tee off a bit there. You've got wickets in the shed, definitely. I mean, once you lose maybe 2 wickets, you go, oh yeah, let's just dot it around. Let's just poke it around, get some singles and twos. But wow, yeah, that is a surprise. I would have expected them to maybe go for it a bit more.
Yeah, but look, Meg Lanning, 135 not out. She finally got that century, didn't she? She's been in the 90s for quite some time.
Yeah, go Meg. That was amazing. Just the experience of the skipper just to step up when it mattered the most. Because it was a big total. 271, definitely a very, very defendable score. So, and especially we lost Healy early, who hasn't had a good tournament at all.
No, she hasn't had the best, has she?
No, and so we lost Alyssa early. So I thought, oh, that's a bit of mountain to climb after a couple of wickets. But Megan, Tali McGrath made a 30, good contribution there. And Ash Garner made a handy 20-30 as well. So if you get your players to score 20-30s, that's very handy. And with someone makes 130, it's very good support for them. So, it was fantastic by Meg. And, yeah, South Africa will be a danger.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like you said, Healy, she didn't come off the best Ashes either, did she? She still wasn't scoring then, so it's just been a bit of a bad luck run at the moment. So yeah, we'll definitely have to keep our fingers crossed that she maybe scores a bit higher in the next game.
Oh, she'll be disappointed. She'll know that she needs to make some runs, and she'll be hungry for that for sure. So hopefully we'll see her make a 50, or I wouldn't be surprised if she made 100 before the end of the tournament. So keep an eye on her.
Yeah. So, yeah, we chatted to Jemma Barsby, and she talks to us a bit about what it's like being called up to captain a state side, and how it's been captaining a pretty inexperienced side, and a pretty new side at that. So, yeah, Jemma gives us a really good insight on what it's like as a new captain, and a new captain in a new team. She hasn't been around for very long. So, we really hope you enjoy our chat with Jemma Barsby.
And taken. Bloody beauty, 4 for 2. Jemma Barsby. What an absolute destroyer she's become today.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
That's all right, no worries.
Hey,
How's
Jemma.
it been?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, just spent the morning at the beach and now just chilling at home trying to recover after the last couple of games.
Yeah. What beach did you go down to?
Just Tenley Beach.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just it's the closest one for me, so it's not too bad.
So, congratulations on being named the Scorpions captain. How did you feel when you were told?
Yeah, I was pretty shocked, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it. Obviously, knew with the likes of Tyler McGrath and like Megan Schuttaway that someone would have to step up. And yeah, once it sort of sunk in that that they thought I'd be good enough to be captain. It took a couple of days, but yeah, it took with both hands, and yeah, excited by the learnings and opportunities from it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned there all those girls have gone off to Australia duties. So there have been a couple of people who have made their debut, like Kate Pearson, and some other girls have had to kind of step up and fill those roles. So how has that been for the team, and how have they fit in there?
Yeah, they've been great. Kate's been a great addition to our squad this year. She's the only addition, and it's been quite nice. She's a very hard worker and very harsh on herself. She came in thinking that she had to be the number one because to prove herself to everyone else, but she's only 19, so all the rest of us knew that she's going to be a great player once she gets a few games under her belt. And the last game, second game against WA was started to show once she got the nerves out of the way that she could perform at that level.
No way, 19. I had no idea that. I thought she was like maybe early 20s, like 22,
Yeah,
23.
still a young
Wow.
one.
So also, not only we've got 4 South Australians missing, the Victoria team and New South Wales team have also lost quite a few of their players as well. So has that changed the way that you would have maybe initially gone about this WNCL season going into this one?
I think it's just exciting for women's cricket in general, where the Aussie players can now go away and perform for Australia, and we're still able to play state stuff and and still at a high level, which is exciting to show the depth that women's cricket's getting to. It's obviously a few sides are quite depleted now, but it gives some of the young girls to experience what it's like at WNCL and what they need to do to dominate at that level.
It is very exciting because I feel we've got a good crop of young players here in South Australia. So it's good to see Brooke Harris and Katie as well. I know she's not South Australian, but we'll adopt her. But yeah, good to see them getting an opportunity, and the all-rounder Ellie Falcon are just hitting them all now. So it's really good to see those other players getting those opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's the reason why. And then it's exciting to see this group. Yeah, like Ellie came out and hitting sixes for fun the last 2 games, which is exciting to see, and hopefully gives her a lot of confidence for her game moving forward. And I think that's just the big thing now is being able to back the people and back themselves in situations, and not having to rely on the big dogs of the Aussie girls. And I think that's the most exciting part, and it showed with our last 2 performances.
Yeah, it definitely does show the depth in the team, whereas you did have the 4 core big players out, but Western Australia didn't have many of their squad out at all. So I think that definitely shows the depth that South Australia has. So is there anything in particular that you'd be taking from those first 2 games obviously went very well into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it just showed partnerships with the bat are key. Once you can establish that and take it a bit deep, you can go hard at the end there, and like Ellie come and Annie O'Neill come out and smack some 4s and 6s around and get the totals from that 270s to the 290s to 300s like we were able to do yesterday. And then it's just a massive learning curve for our bowling unit as well, of just playing boring cricket, really trying to accumulate as many dots as we can and put the pressure back on the batters, and especially at K-Roll where it's an absolute road and batters paradise. So you just got to see it out and hope they get themselves out.
Yeah, definitely. Look, they were great games to watch, wasn't it? I bet it was such a confidence boost to have all your players like Sam taking 5 for and Kate taking 3 the other day. I bet it's just a real confidence boost going in for the rest of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the exciting part. It settles their nerves and settles and just shows that they can achieve, perform at that level. And yeah, we got a busy next couple of weeks, so hopefully they're able to take that confidence into the next ones, and we can go from there and get some more wins under our belt.
How have you found coming into the SA environment since coming from Queensland?
Yeah, it's been great. They've been very welcoming. I remember Joyce and I moved over here at the same time, and pretty much all the girls were taking us sightseeing and everything. Whenever we had time off to go and explore Adelaide and stuff. So yeah, they've been so welcoming, and yeah, it's been breath of fresh air coming down here, and I guess performing pretty much.
Was there any bit of stuff after the women's BBL final that yeah, we won't talk about that one, but it was good on you guys. But was there no?
What happened again? I don't remember. Yeah. Got rid of that.
Erase that one. So did you find it tricky to move from Queensland to this team, because you've obviously been playing over there for so long? Was it difficult?
It wasn't too bad. No, we were South Australia were great, and making sure that Joyce and I and even Kate made it as smooth as transition as possible. And yeah, I found it found it pretty easy. I didn't really have, obviously instead of family, I didn't really have too much time into Brizzy at that stage, and that's when I thought it was a perfect opportunity to move here and experience what a different state has to offer. And yeah, I've been loving it so far. It's been so close to the beach and everything, and just still getting used to the winters. They're a bit colder than Queensland winters, so still adjusting to that, but yeah, can't complain.
No, we've loved having you since you've arrived. When I saw that we signed you, I'm like, oh, that's a good signing. That's good. So
yeah.
You've been really good. You've been really good in our setup, and it's good having you.
Thank you.
So you also played for the Strikers this season. Now, how did you find that move as well? Because you've been through obviously the heat and the scorches, and then to come to Strikers, what was that like with those girls?
Yeah, it was good. It was a great bunch of girls. Just nice and relaxed, and out there to have a bit of fun, and which was really good. And to be here for both formats now, it's nice. We have the same coaches, and it's a bit easier instead of having to move for the couple of months for Big Bash. So it's nice to be here all the time and having the same coaches, and it is nice sometimes to have that different perspective when you go away for a couple of months and learn off different coaches and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with Strikers this year, and it was just a really relaxed and fun group.
Yeah, you kind of answered my question there. It was so is it a bit easier playing for one state instead of playing for Scorps and then going off to play for Brisbane Heat? Is it a lot easier just to play for the one state?
Yeah, it's a different experience, but a good experience where you kind of go away for the 2 months and you're in and around a different group and different coaching staff, and you get to experience what how they run things and operate. But yeah, it was a lot nicer being here for the 2 ones where you kind of just set and stoned in, obviously living at back of your same place all the time and not having to live in a hotel for the 3 couple of months, and then where you sort of just in there where you're there to do a job, and that's pretty much it. And but no, I loved my time with Scorchers and Heat, but now I really like my time now is with the Strikers.
It's the best color. It's the best color, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty good.
Now, you also, when you moved over, we obviously had Laura Wolvart over here, but you played with her in WBBL 04, which the Heat won. So did that make it a little bit easier, knowing that there was a familiar face around? Knowing there was a familiar face in the Strikers team.
Yeah, it was nice. Nice to actually come back and catch up with Laura again. Yeah, like you said, I played with her at the Heat, and there was a few years in between playing again. So it was nice to be on the same team with her. She's an incredible human and batter and obviously and fielder as well. So it was nice to be back on her side and not getting flogged around by her.
It's always good when they're on the same team, isn't it? But yeah. What was having Dane like? I guess pretty big South African name. What did she bring?
Yeah, she's a funny one, Dane. She wears her heart on the sleeve and is very passionate. She was a very, very good around the group. She got like fitted in straight away. Was very vocal and very chatty, and definitely would tell you her thoughts and opinions, which was good. But yeah, she was great for the group, and I think she really enjoyed her time here and was just able to go out there and play the way she wanted to. And I think that's what you need in Big Bash, where especially being an opener, just having the freedom to go out there and swing from ball one pretty much.
Oh, she's a gun player. Just some of her strength that she plays is wow. She was awesome to have. Hopefully we can have her back next year once she's recovered from her injury. Hopefully she's going well with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, obviously, look, we're Strikers fans, so it is a very touchy subject for us as well. But we made it so close. What was it like to even just, I know it was unfortunate the result, but to have the crowd, it was such a big crowd for a WBBL game. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was unreal, to be honest. It was to have over 15,000 there, and not probably all but about 5 were not support, like where 5 were probably supporting you, the rest were against you. So that was it was a great experience where anything they did well was the crowd noise was unbelievable, and when everything we did well, it was dead silent. So it was a great experience, and hopefully it's like of what to come of hopefully finals ahead and even semi-finals that we start to get those crowds to the games and get more viewership. But it was an unbelievable experience. Unfortunate for the result, but it was at the end of the day it was a great game for women's cricket.
It was a great game of cricket. It was full grade of Scorchers. They're a very hard team to beat over in Perth. But it was good that you guys, whenever you got a wicket or made some good runs, that you girls celebrated like very hard. So made up for the fact that we had no supporters over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You got to try and make it happen when you got most of them against you. So
I think that's good. Like every team that has a disadvantage with crowds, they just really get behind each other more, which is fantastic.
I guess it does really just prove that the standalone seasons can work. And I think that's been such a topic over the years was it better when it was with the men's seasons? But I think that final alone proved that we can get the crowds if we want to. So is that something that you think is working in favor of the standalone seasons?
Yeah, it's been nice being standalone where we get the that couple of weeks where we're standalone and you're just there enjoying it. You kind of do miss a few games where you're before the men, or you're more in and around, like the Strikers when they have the New Year's game at Adelaide Oval. You used to play before that, so you miss games like that. But all the rest, it's nice to be standalone, and for Cricket Australia and the ACA to back us to be able to do that, and hopefully we can continue to grow the game and be even bigger and better and stronger each year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even just I think it was a little bit affected by COVID maybe, but the games at Adelaide Oval against the Heat and the Renegades, I think there could have been a much bigger crowd than there was for the time that it was. I think it was a pretty fun crowd, and there was quite a lot of people there. Both Josh and I were there, so it was a very cool experience, those games. How did it feel to win against the Heat and the Renegades consecutively in front of this crowd?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was a pretty busy week that week where we played those 2 games and then had to fly to Perth and play the final. But we were very fortunate and lucky that we were able to play those 2 games at Adelaide Oval and have the home crowd behind us, and it definitely helps. And it's exciting when you get to play at a venue like that and go out there and put on the performances like we did. It was pretty special, and to have the crowd backing you and and showing no support for the opposition, it was pretty nice and made it a lot more easier for the wins. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not a game I'll be forgetting anytime soon. That one against the Renegades, it was just unbelievable. I couldn't even imagine what it would be like to be playing it. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you started playing cricket and where you got involved?
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I was brought up in a sporting family, so both my parents played, and Dad played at the state level, and so is my brother. So I had no choice really, but I didn't I was never pressured into playing cricket. It was just kind of give it a go, and if you love it, you love it. If you don't, then so be it. And yeah, I grew up playing cricket at the local club that back home in Queensland that I'm still associated with when I go back there. So I pretty much started there at under 7s, played with the same boys all the way through to under 17s, and then went to the women's side of things after that. So yeah, it was pretty much just grew up playing it since the day I could walk and hold a ball in my hand. It was pretty much, fell in love with it ever since.
And what junior club was that, Gemma?
Sang at Redcliffe District Cricket Club. So yeah, we pretty much, the Barsby name's been in that club for a very long time with Dad playing there. So it's in the blood.
That's good.
Did you play any other sports, or was it always just cricket?
No, in the winter I used to play hockey to keep fit for cricket pretty much. It was nice to play another sport and not have it be so serious. You just kind of just go out there and run around and with another group of girls, and you just kind of kept fit without really knowing, which was quite nice. But and then pretty much at school, whatever sport I could do to get out of school, I'd do. So yes, but the 2 main ones were cricket and hockey.
So who were your cricket idols growing up?
I'd probably say it's as bad as it is. It'd probably be more like the Matthew Haydens, Ricky Ponting, Michael Hussey, all those kind of guys where you'd watch them. Remember like so clearly. Someone would come around and be sitting on the couch, watching them go about their work, and pretty incredible batters and players. So I'd probably say more them. I didn't really know back then too much about the ladies side of things, which is quite sad, but obviously now it's been a bit more exposed. So the younger girls coming through now have some more role models and people that they can look up to hopefully be one day.
Yeah. So you bowl with both hands. How did this come about? And
do you do that?
Yeah. How is that?
That's great.
Yeah, it was kind of just like growing up playing backyard cricket with my brother and a few friends. So it was kind of just, instead of always going in and crying to mum and dad that I could never get my brother out, I just thought I'd try something different. And I remember Dad being up on the balcony and seeing me do it. He's like, "Did you just bowl with the other hand?" And then I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You should continue doing that." But it's a lot of hard work and still probably not where I'd like it to be. But the more I bowl it and the more I work on it, the better I'll get of it. So I just got to continue to work on it. And it's quite nice having Luke and Jude, the coaches of the Strikers and Scorpions, that they allowed me to and back me to be able to do that. So the more I boil of it, the better I'll get with it.
Do you favour one hand over another, or?
Yeah, definitely my right arm's more favourable at this stage. Lefties are coming along, but it's definitely not where I'd like them to be. They're a bit inconsistent, but hopefully I'll get there one day.
I think it's amazing that you're saying that you could bowl with both hands, but you think that your left arm isn't good. And I'm just like, you're bowling with both hands. But so what's, I guess, the mindset that you've had in previous games to change up and bowl with your left hand?
Yeah, so obviously right arm off spins into a lot of right-handers, and like the majority of the time it's quite easy for them to hit because it's just in their arc and that can follow through. So most of the time it'll be, well, if I was to bowl my left armers, it would definitely be to right-hand batters where the ball's turning away from them and make it a bit more difficult for them. And then when I perfected both pretty well, then be able to use it as use my right hand bowling against left-hand batters and my left arm bowling against right arm, so it's spinning, the ball's spinning away from them.
That's incredible. Honestly, I can't even.
I hate facing spinners. They're annoying.
I was watching it on TV, and I honestly thought, like, because it was one of the Strikers games and they brought it up on TV. I thought it was a mirror image. I didn't think it was actually like you bowling with your left and right arm. I thought they just like flipped it. I'm like, why are they doing this? Yeah, I was like, that is insane. It's really insane. But I think it's amazing that obviously it's not very popular. You can't name many people who bowl with both hands. So I think that's something that's probably really inspiring for a lot of young people. It's because it's not something you see. So it's something different that I think a lot of people would be able to look up to. So you are in quite a position now with the media to be like a role model to young girls. So how do you feel to be in that position?
Yeah, it's different. Like, you're not obviously growing up with, when I've come through, it's not really been too much media. So now that we're getting older and getting more exposed to it, it's still getting used to having to do all that. But yeah, it's exciting if I can inspire at least one girl or one boy to be able to give it a crack in the backyard and work on it, then my job's done. But yeah, it's just exciting to see what the next generation of cricketers will be able to do.
You have kids asking their coach, teach me to bowl both hands like Jemma.
Yeah.
The coach will go, no.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely something that people will just see on TV now that it is able to be seen on TV and just want to do. So I think that is something it's great to see, really. But can you talk to us a little bit about MS, what it is, how it came about with you and how it's impacted your cricket journey?
Yeah, so MS is pretty much like it's a nervous system. So it's pretty much like your immune system attacking itself, and it's like there's no real cause or anything at the moment where, no cure, which is quite annoying, but that's all a part of the disease, I guess. But yeah, I found out quite flukishly. I remember back in Queensland, I was invited to bowl to the Aussie girls one weekend, and I was pretty much a bowling machine, so I just kept bowling and came out with a bit of a sore shoulder and didn't really think anything of it. So I probably took about a week or so to see the doc, and during that time, so it was pretty much, found out I had the tips of my fingers were numb, and that's when I kind of knew something wasn't right. And we went and got I was lucky enough at that time where when you're involved in sport, you got pretty much easy access to MRI scans and everything. So we went and got some MRI scans done, and that's where I found out. And I remember the day so clearly, being told and just walking into our team doctor at the time and being told to still have your dreams and aspirations. It was pretty scary, and I knew then it was something pretty serious. But I'm pretty fortunate that I've got it pretty mild and still be able to play cricket and do everything that I love to do. It's just I guess listening to my body, where I still have good and bad days, where some symptoms for me can be pins and needles in my hands, down my spine, in my legs and stuff, or fatigue. So it's kind of just listening to my body and being smart in the summertime when heat can be a trigger for me and for other sufferers. So yeah, it's just kind of just listening to your body and telling people when you're having a good and bad day. But yeah, just trying to help other MS sufferers who've got it worse than me to raise awareness of what people can do and how they can help.
Yeah, so you said that it was when you went to the doctor. Was there a point where you were worried that it was going to maybe end your cricket career?
Yeah, like at the time, I was just kind of thinking that it'd be like the worst case scenario would be like a shoulder reconstruction or something like that, because of like the first feelings were in my shoulder. But it was kind of scary couple of days where I remember being told on a Thursday afternoon, and I didn't get to see the neurologist until the Monday. So I was in a bit of a limbo for a couple of days I didn't really know at that time, like a lot of people, what MS was, how the degree that I had it at and all that. So yeah, it was quite scary few days, but I had really good family and friends, and the team at the time got around me and helped me through those days. But still still count myself pretty fortunate that I've got it mild and still able to do everything that I love to do.
That's good.
Yeah, 100%.
I have one question. You said how having good people around the group is great, but Darcy's got to be annoying with her social media stuff. I mean, I saw the TikTok and I was like, does it get to a point or is it quite fun?
No, she's a good human, Darcy. She brings good character to the group, and you need those people in the group where they keep it a bit lighthearted, where there's times where cricket can be really up and down, and you need those people to when you're having those bad days to get everyone up and about, and especially around trainings where this year, for instance, say we had a very long preseason and days can sort of just go blend into one, and you get into a bit stagnant of where you're thinking of when we're going to play next and stuff. So you need people like Das and that in your group to be a bit more lighthearted and play some jokes and do a TikToks and stuff. So she's a good human, Das. So she's really good to have in the side.
Nah, it's good. It's good that you girls just joke around and everything. Like I saw the video of Josie running around training, like no one wants to talk to me. Like, what is this? That was so just the lighthearted side of it is fantastic. I did like the head bopping one. That was good.
Got to keep up with the TikTok trends.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Neither. I'm too old.
So Josh, you can jump onto your little bit.
We do a this or that. So we've just got 8 questions and just say which one. Okay, so we got summer or winter?
Summer, absolutely.
Yeah. 2020 or Test cricket?
Ooh, Test cricket.
Test cricket, good. Horror or comedy?
Comedy, absolutely. Horror, no thanks. I'll have nightmares.
No, I won't recommend it then, the movie.
Yeah, no thanks.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee, absolutely.
Backyard cricket or beach cricket?
Ooh, backyard.
Backyard, just.
Yeah.
All right, here's a big one. We won't judge you, but Queensland or SA?
Oh, that's stitch up. Oh, Queensland through and through.
Yeah, of course.
I do like Adelaide.
We'll give you a
yeah
straight down the middle there. We'll give you an out.
Yeah. Movie world or dream world?
Ooh, dream world.
TV shows or movies?
Ooh, it's a good one. I don't really watch too much. Probably if I had, it would be movies.
Movies.
Yeah. They're just you don't have to commit for too long, do you? With movies, they're just maximum about 2 hours, done dusted, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was your reasoning behind the Test or T20?
I don't know. Just going off probably like watching it this summer with the men and the women. It's kind of just like you kind of just get to as a bowler. I love the fight and the fact of like you just set the batters up where you go a couple away, and then the innie, or just love the fight and like just how you can how you can set up batters to try and get them out. And I just that contest of bat and ball when there's a bit in the wicket, and it's a bit exciting.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite ground in all of Australia that you've ever played at?
It's a tough one. Adelaide Oval's pretty cool, pretty nice to play on. You kind of pinch yourself that we get to play on them.
Have you done like a tour? Have you done like is it roof climb on your list or not?
No, I haven't done that yet. No, it's something that we want to do, but haven't ticked that off yet.
That's fantastic.
Now, we have got one big question. Now, even though this debate has been sorted, we still feel like we can
it hasn't.
ask a couple more people. It has been. So, do you classify porridge as a cereal or not?
Oh, interesting. I haven't thought of that.
Yeah. So this is why we're going to keep asking people.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd probably say would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it is a trend, Lily.
I think it is a theory. So I've come up with a theory. So all the Australians agree with Josh, and all the English people agree with me. So I think it's just a country thing.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Now that I think you've furthered the point that I think it's just a different country thing.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's one that no one ever really thinks about, and then when you ask it, you're just like, well, I don't know, I've never thought about it. But
Yeah, exactly.
that brings us to the end of our questions. But thank you very much for joining us. So
That's all right, no worries.
Best of luck for the rest of the WNCL games. We'll definitely be watching.
We'll be watching very closely.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And taken. Bloody beauty, 4 for 2. Jemma Barsby. What an absolute destroyer she's become today.
Well, I got to tell you, JB has done it again. That was a fantastic interview. Real good insight to what our state girls are up to. And yeah, you're right. As you said at the start, it was a very, very young team. And to have someone like Jemma lead them, it'd be very valuable to them. No, it's fantastic to see and hear that she's doing very well as captain. She's done fantastic, and it shows because we're in the final.
Yeah, and it's kind of lined up perfectly, hasn't it? It's lined up so we're chatting to Jemma just before they're in a final, so couldn't have been more perfect timing.
Yes, it will be good. Yeah, that will be good.
So that brings us to the end of this week's episode. But next week, we are joined by another very special guest, another Tasmanian Tigers and Adelaide Strikers player. Now, she did briefly move over to the Sydney Sixers, but we will forgive her because she moved back to the Strikers and she doesn't want to leave anytime soon. So we talked to Sarah Coit, who is a ex-Australia fast bowler as well, may I add. And she's incredible. She brings such a good insight into mental health. So it's a deep chat. It is a deep chat, but it's really, really good to hear that side of things. So that will be next week. Otherwise, you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at howzatTCP, or to get in contact with us, you can send us an email at howzatthecricketpodcast@gmail.com. But that is all from me this week.
And that is all from me, guys.
How's that? You missed the